Welcome to Unnecessary Roughness, Barstool College Football Podcast, presented by Twisted Tea.
Stop right there. Stop right there, Kayce. Stop right there. Oh T-Bob, go ahead.
Yeah, go for it. Go for it, T-Bob. Go for it.
Okay, here we go. This is raspberry.
Brandon, you wanted T-Bob to hype up the crowd, didn't you?
He's going to. Just wait. It's in there.
That is absolutely delicious here on a Thursday afternoon. About to talk some college football with the crew. Very excited. Thank you, Twisted Tea. This is delicious. Call me Tweebob. Now they do. That's all I do is drink Twisted Tea.
How's Tiger Rag go? I never can get it until I get it.
What do you like
Sounds beautiful, Brandon.
Yeah, I can't do it in my head.
You're doing a good job.
I'm not in marching band territory right now.
Give it a few weeks and you will be.
When are you in marching band? Okay, during football season.
There will be a day in the next probably 2 weeks where you will get here at 8 a.m. I will be walking the gym court.
Yep.
And I will have the speaker, and you will hear nothing but fight songs.
Oh wow!
I did that for like a week last year. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Like T-Bob, the best thing too is like when you walk in and you just see him pacing up and down and you hear the music over the loudspeakers, you just know not to bother him at all because he's just in a certain type of place, but it's a good place. It's like his Happy Gilmore happy place. Just let him be.
Are you talking
don't spook the tiger.
Are you talking about the fight song?
Oh, it's the Tiger Rag, right?
Fight the tiger.
No.
So no, you're right.
The one after touchdowns where it turns that down.
So you're not thinking of no. So Tiger Rag is a thing. I actually don't know what song that refers to off the top of my head. I know that Tiger Rag has been a LSU like insider magazine and media outlet for a while. It's on there. I'm gonna get It is. I'm gonna get blasted by my
it's
LSU
brethren.
It's a very specific
song. Only you guys play.
That is. You're right. Yes. Yeah.
I don't think that's copyrighted.
That's when they march out before the games. Yeah. That's when the Golden Girls do this.
They do
move.
that between touchdowns, right?
Yeah. Because that's when they do that move.
Yeah.
I actually never did a Tiger Rag. Anyway.
Oh, you were busy.
Yeah, you had something else to focus on.
Yeah, focus on.
She fixed versatility and she loses the word focus.
It's all I can think about. We were talking about it.
Honestly, I can totally see that becoming like a thing with the kids.
All right, get your folk on.
Like we'll shorten anything. Just
that is true.
Hey Kayce, folk up.
Yeah, complete lack of folk here, guys. We got to tighten the fuck up.
Did I just stumble upon some like cool lingo?
Look at me, folk on me. Okay, folk on me right here. Look at my eyes.
My eyes are up here. Okay,
sounded sexual.
Focus right here.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Folk on me.
My eyes are up here.
Folk me.
So folk, Brandon, folk.
Oh,
so
yeah, sorry.
This is the ACC Preview episode, and boys, this is the last. So this comes out on a Friday. This is the last Friday that we don't have real college football to look forward to in 24 hours. Next week is the official start of week 0. We have Farmageddon in just about 9 days. It is so back in Ev. I know when we were all together in Chicago this week for the Big 12 preview, it felt surreal. T-Bob was hyping you up, and it's just like the fact that it's here, like how can you not be giddy?
It feels tangible now, Kayce.
Yes.
You can almost touch it. You can almost put your fingers on it like a crispy cold Twisted Tea. You can little plug there. Shout out Twisted Tea.
I'd argue it doesn't feel tangible yet. Like I need a cold day.
Well,
then you have lost your way. Then
I haven't.
College
football starts when it's hot.
No, but
you've been in the Northeast for too long.
I was about to say, Brandon. Listen. I feel the same way that you do.
No,
if someone was going to say that, it'd be me.
Y'all understand what I'm saying? You need a nice, cool morning, crisp morning that reminds you of a Saturday in October that really snaps you into it. Says, "Oh, we're here."
But Brandon, this is because I agree with you.
I think y'all understand what I'm saying. It's obviously when Farmageddon is playing, we're gonna realize, college football's here.
Wait. I understand what you're saying. Here, I'm gonna help you out here. I understand what you're saying because we've had that Northeast feeling for a while. In the South, you might not get a cool Saturday until maybe November.
I guess I'm saying it wrong. I'm not even saying a cool day, but there's a certain Christmas and a breeze
Yes.
that will get your mind to where it needs to be. It doesn't even have to be cool. It can just be.
Yeah, I get what you're
there's a certain softness of the air.
I understand.
I want hoodie weather. I want hoodie weather. I want to walk out and feel like I have to bundle up in a hoodie to watch college football. So I understand what you're saying completely.
But that ain't happening in West Point, Mississippi you ain't getting one of them. You ain't getting a sneaky Saturday in August where it's going to be crisp anything.
You might not get one all season in the South.
Yeah, you will. You get them. You get
Maybe
one day in
every
August.
now and then you'll get a lucky mid-September, early
you get
October.
a day in August where the high is like 82.
And by the way, like I've gotten so used to it now, being on the Northeast for almost 10 years, that like an 82-degree day, I'm pissed. I'm like, this is too hot. Like, what are we doing here? Like, I can't do it. But regardless,
we gotta folk up.
Folk up. Farmageddon. We're going to get into the ACC preview, obviously the last of the Power Four conferences. We'll get to that. Then we're going to have a mega episode next week where we're going to do our college football playoff predictions, our Heisman predictions, all that leading into week 0. But before we get into the ACC preview, just a little bit of news. Obviously, the whole internet is seeing it. We record this on Thursday. This comes out early Friday morning. But Pete Thamel did report today that we will find out on Friday at some point the punishments from Michigan's NCAA infractions. Obviously, all the rumors are swirling. What's going to happen? What's not going to happen? What should? What shouldn't? I wrote this in the group text. I'm sure you guys have seen it too. Have you guys seen what like the rumored infractions actually are?
No,
like,
you said you knew. So I was like, all right, I'm going to wait and just kind of react live.
So I don't like, this is just coming from like quote inside sources on message boards, all that, but it seems to be pretty uniform across not only Michigan, but Michigan State and Ohio State. Like insiders have kind of gathered this. Now it could be completely wrong, but what I have seen is there will be no vacated wins, no postseason ban. There will be a $14 million fine. Connor Stalions banned for life. Sharon Moore suspended 2 games, and Harbaugh a 10-year show cause. And that will be it, and we will all move forward.
So nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing.
Now, again, this is just what I'm reading. It's not like somebody from Michigan has let me know that, but it seems like it's across the board that that's what's going to happen. And I was going to ask Ev, as the Ohio State guy, I mean, I know we've talked about this ad nauseum. We've talked about it nonstop. How do you feel about this?
I mean, I've said it, like the post, like vacating wins or whatever means nothing to me. I don't think it means anything to anyone, to be honest. For the school, I obviously taking down the banner or whatever, like it sucks, but no one really cares. You live through it, you experience it. It happened. Like we all know what happened. Yeah, I mean, the postseason ban was the only thing that I thought like maybe was a possibility. But like that's the only thing tangible that I actually would feel like as an Ohio State fan, that's the bar for me to like laugh and make fun of them. Like outside of that, I think it's just like a nothing issue, like we all seem to be in agreement on. Like if it's just a suspension, Connor Stalions being banned, who already like who's gonna touch him at this point? Like it happened, it's gone. He's not worth the headache at this point. Like a Sharon Moore suspension, sure. Fine, I figure that's coming for a little bit more, but the postseason ban is the bar for me to even be like a little excited about it. Outside of that, I don't think it means like a lot. Like a fine, who gives a shit?
I will leave this.
$14 million to me is just such a random number too. I'm sure there's a reason behind it, but who cares?
I will just add one thing, and that is, may we all be so lucky and blessed as to have someone as committed to us and our success as Connor Stalions was to Michigan. Because regardless of lifetime ban, anything else, I know they like to, they get masturbatory when talking about Michigan men. He might be the most Michigan man that has ever existed. So I just hope that one day I have a Connor Stalions in my life supporting me in that way.
I would take a Connor Stalions for my team. 10 out of 10.
Yeah, exactly.
Brandon, how do you feel about this?
Nothing's happening to him. It's the Connor Stalions. Connor Stalions wins. He wins this whole thing. If you told him 5 years ago he could do this, win a national title, go down in infamy as a huge cheater, get a lifetime ban, but the title would stand and he gets to be a Michigan folk hero for the rest of his life, I think he takes that trade 100 times out of 100. I think Jim Harbaugh Jim Harbaugh got a golden safety net going to the NFL. He 10-year show cause, great. He's never going to try to coach college again.
Right.
He wins. Connor Stallions wins. Michigan wins. Sharon Moore ended up getting a job out of it that he has to get suspended for 2 games. He wins. Nobody on Michigan's side, based on the rumored punishments you just said, loses in this scenario. Is it briefly embarrassing? Yes. Ultimately, are they national champions forever and everybody who participated in it is better for the experience of having done it? Yeah. So NCAA is toothless, can't do anything. And I don't know if these punishments are true or not, but, just roll the balls out and let's play ball soon because Michigan won in this scenario.
I do think that, and Ev hit on it as well. If these aren't true, like if for whatever reason these rumors are not true and we do see anything other than this, I still don't see vacating wins. I think that maybe a postseason ban, which I don't agree with. We've been down this road. But it does kind of turn the page right before the season starts. It's like, okay, like Michigan, from a standpoint of like a narrative, will have that quote stain on it. I personally don't think it is, but again, not to get into that. But now we can just move on, right? Like now it's like, okay,
well,
like you can't bring up.
It'll certainly have a stain on it, Kayce, but the stain is worth it. Definitely has a stain. It definitely has a stain, but it is worth it.
And listen, Brandon, as somebody who has never seen a national championship, and I know you haven't either, I would take a lot of stains. I would take a lot. I know T-Bob and Ev have seen them in their lifetime. We have not. I would take a stain.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I'd sign up for that all day long. But
take a stain or two. Okay, let's get into the ACC preview. But first, we're going to talk about Viore. And when we talk about Viore, we talk about versatility, folks. Versatility. Now that I know I've been saying it
she
wrong.
Did it twice.
Versatility. I'm. The fact that I've been saying versatility and no one told me is crazy. Anyways, it's incredibly versatile and comfortable. I was wearing a pink set. It was like kind of pinkish red yesterday. And I got complimented on it by guys and gals. And what I was telling the girls about it is, and girls that are listening or guys that are listening that know this, like when you have like really thin leggings on and you can just see like things you don't want to see, you don't want to wear them to the gym because people are looking, you feel self-conscious. Viore doesn't have that. It makes you feel so comfortable. It stretches with you. You look great in it. It snatches in all the right places. But then of course they have all the other stuff too. They have the boxer briefs. T-Bob, you and I were texting with Billy Lucci today or yesterday about Viore. They've got everything. They have absolutely everything. He took you on a shopping spree. Right now that like everybody's talking about just how stylish, like if you turn on TV right now, you're seeing like Libby Dunn and Viore. It's all over the place and it's for good reason because it is that good. They also have the Sunday Performance Jogger. It's almost jogger season too. Like you put on a nice comfy pair of joggers, put on a hoodie. It's time for college football. So it's worth an investment in your happiness. They're offering 20% off your first purchase. Get yourself some of the most comfortable clothing on the planet at viore.com/roughness. That's VUORI.com/roughness. Exclusions to apply. Visit the website for full terms and conditions. Not only will you receive 20% off your first purchase, but you will enjoy free shipping on all United States orders over $75 and free returns, which again, if you don't like the cut, if you don't like the length, you don't like the fit, you can send it back for free. So go to viore.com/roughness and discover the versatility of Viore clothing. Exclusions do apply. Visit the website. Okay, boys, ACC final conference preview.
I have two brief statements about the ACC, and then we'll get into it.
Hit us.
Here are my 2 brief statements. Number 1, this is actually 2 statements in one. This is obviously the conference with the most unanimous winner. I don't think there's really much argument here as far as
it's going to be a clean sweep.
There's going to be a lot of people picking Clemson to win this conference, and with good reason. Number 2, I think this league has the most dead weight of any of the Power 4 leagues. Mm-hmm. I think at the bottom of the SEC, the bottom of the Big 10, the bottom of the Big 12 are significantly better than the bottom of the ACC. I think the bottom of the ACC is wretched garbage right now. Next statement. Remember the other day you said you think the Big 10, the Big 12 is the most exciting quarterback conference.
Yes.
I certainly think that is the case, but I would argue the ACC might be the conference brimming with the most unrealized quarterback potential. I think there's potential in here to have a great quarterback conference. You know about Klubnik at the top, but Carson Beck has the talent at Miami. We know he's talented, just something hasn't really connected for him. We know Haynes King is pretty good there at Georgia Tech. Miller Moss is interesting at Louisville at the very least. SMU, Jennings is interesting there. Pittsburgh, Eli Holstein. You're getting Darren Mensah at Duke. Like, I'm 8 teams deep now, and I've mentioned some really good quarterbacks. Gio Lopez from South Alabama and North Carolina is intriguing as fuck. CJ Bailey from NC State, freshman last year, intriguing as fuck. Kyron Drones was supposed to be the star darling last year. He's still at Virginia Tech. I think there's a lot of quarterback talent here that could be really fucking good in the right circumstances. This could be a lot better quarterback conference than it looks like on paper.
I don't know. I still think it's okay. I mean, maybe which Power 4 conference would be better than though? Maybe the Big Ten. You're saying? Is that what you're saying?
The Big Ten, yeah. The Big Ten isn't loaded at quarterback.
No. I mean, you do lose Mendoza from the ACC to the Big Ten, but your point. I mean, yeah, your point stands. I see.
Brandon, did you mention Castellanos? Isn't he at Florida State?
Yeah,
I did not, and I don't think I intentionally did not mention him.
Also, we don't know
if he's an interesting storyline from everything that you were just naming.
He lost his job at Boston College midway through the season. I don't think he's very good. I can't believe Florida State's putting their eggs in this guy's basket. I can't believe it.
I'll say this.
But they also went after DJ. Yeah. So, I mean.
When I look at this conference from a kind of bird's eye view, I think what stands out to me is it is so clearly Clemson, and I'm excited to talk about them because I've even adjusted where I think they should be overall in the national rankings. But I think the most interesting storyline, because of Clemson's obvious dominance, is Bill Belichick at North Carolina. Because it is, and it's not that like the story in and of itself would be interesting, but it's almost just as much to do with like a lack of storyline elsewhere, right? Because it's Clemson and everybody else, the Bill Belichick storyline shines all the brighter. And I don't have great expectations for this year. Maybe they'll come up with today's pod. I don't know. But like week 1, that is going to be something that we're absolutely locked into.
Ev, to go off of what they just said too, it's like you have a couple of interesting highlights. Obviously, Bill Belichick, what Brandon just said, like Clemson getting back into the national contender spotlight. We know they can. We know they have. It kind of depends on Dabo. But outside of that, and T-Bob and I were talking about this before everybody else jumped on, the ACC kind of feels like the chalkiest league of all these previews because you know who's at the top and you know who's bad, and it just doesn't feel like there's a lot of parity outside of those things.
See, like I agree with that in terms of Clemson being a unanimous favorite, and I think is definitely going to win this conference. But I think there's a little more parity in like 2 to like 8 than I think people maybe are giving credit for right now. I think there's some parity in the middle of the conference, but I also agree with Brandon that the bottom of the barrel is grotesque.
It's so bad.
And I think that will hold true. But I think there's a little more parity in that like top half than like the outside of 1.
Yeah, I also agree with him. I think 2 to 10 is fascinating. 1, I think Clemson is better than everybody else in the league, but 2 through 10 can end in any order, and I think that is going to be really entertaining to watch.
I feel like when I say it's not as much parity, it's just like the other conferences, like I was kind of like hanging on pins and needles to hear what you guys have to say, and everything's been so different. This conference to me, like as far as like just the unnecessary roughness graphic, I just don't see it being as, I don't know, unique.
No, but let me tell you this.
Just came easy.
Last year, we come into the season, you think Clemson's going to win it or Miami's going to win it. Well, SMU went to the fucking playoff.
Yeah,
this conference got 2 playoff teams last year, and if they get 2 playoff teams this year, it's probably going to be Clemson 1, and it could be Miami, it could be Louisville, it could be SMU, it could be Georgia Tech, it could be Florida State, it could be any of these teams.
Well, and we also, going into last year, and I mean, we beat Florida State to a pulp, but I think Liam, and he's not here to defend himself, Liam had him being good again, but nobody knew exactly how bad they were really going to be. So there were surprises there. I mean, I know we haven't done this in the other conferences, and it's kind of shitty to start with it, but like, we all know who the worst team in the ACC is going to be, right? Like, we can all agree.
I don't know.
I mean, I have mine, but
I have mine as well.
I think there's a couple down there.
There's a couple down there. I guess maybe it's just I don't know.
So you're saying Stanford is what you're saying?
Yeah, I think it's Stanford. I think Stanford's going to be the worst. I think it's like it's one of those things. And again, we were proven wrong last year with Vanderbilt in the SEC. But like to me, right now in the current state of the Stanford program, which we've seen them have success in the past, they just don't have it. I just can't see them being any good this year. I'm not even going to go into depth about Stanford. I think they're the worst of the league, and I think that's pretty like pretty obvious.
I just think
what
there's
is it?
other teams down there that you can argue for.
There's 3-9 seasons in a row for Stanford. Well, but I guess why I avoided going Stanford as my worst team is solely the Frank Reich factor. It's a very good football coach.
Yes.
Granted, it's a temporary stay, as they've been very clear that Andrew Luck, this is just for this year, and then we're going to figure it out more long-term afterwards. But I do like those leadership changes with Luck and Reich. I got Wake Forest as my worst team, and the reasons are, well, I mean, it's like, okay, roster-wise, same thing as Stanford, just completely devoid everywhere. But it's the fact that they lose Dave Clawson, who I imagine, maybe they in the 50s or something had success I'm not aware of, but I imagine probably the school's best coach in its football history. And so you're making that transition at a time when Clawson had even kind of lost it, disillusioned by the NIL era, no star transfers to speak of in the slightest. I guess I'm looking at two bad rosters, and on one, with Stanford, I have a little bit of hope with Reich and Luck, whereas the other, I just saw the best coach we ever had leave, and Dickert's fine, but it's I don't know what he's working with to make him think to make me think they're going to be any good. It's such a radical change from Wake Forest moving on from Clawson and that slow mesh. So yeah, I got Wake Forest as the worst.
Yeah, and I agree with you that the comparisons are there. I guess for me, it's like Stanford, and bringing in Andrew Luck's going to be great eventually. They're not going to get back to their like 2010 success just because they brought him onto the staff. They also are doing a complete rebuild again. They had a spring hire of a coach. To me, it's just like it's a shitty bottom of the league. Like Brandon said, the bottom of the ACC is bad. Brandon, who's your pick?
I think you could argue Wake Forest and Stanford, and I don't. Cal is just such a roster that's in such complete upheaval every single year. It's just crazy. I'm going Wake Forest as well, and really for almost all the same reasons that he said. You're going from when you're at a Wake Forest, you're at such a small school with such a small talent pool and such small resources compared to the others. Continuity and stability means so much, and losing Clawson at the top of that snake, it feels like the body's going to wither a little bit. But it's picking nits. I think it's either Wake Forest or it's Stanford. I'm just going to go Wake Forest for the sake of the graphic. I'm just going to go Wake Forest. But either one is fine.
Brandon, it's funny you describe it like that because I was going to bring a quarter and I forgot. So I have a coin flip simulator on my phone that's going to choose from between Wake Forest and Stanford. Stanford. We have Stanford tails, Wake Forest heads.
Somebody's making money doing an app.
Tails never
flip
fails.
the coin.
Tails never fails. Oh,
heads, Wake Forest.
So Wake Forest.
Okay.
They both are abysmal. They both, great. The Clawson thing is definitely big. They both have no recruits, no players. Even Stanford, like the linemen they had are gone. Went for Power 5 schools. They're both going to be awful. I would ask if Lukey would somehow put some type of coin flip on my pick, but it landed on Wake Forest.
What did Blutman say?
Let's ask.
Wake Forest, because Stanford isn't actually in the ACC. I do love Jake Dickert, but also look who plays QB for this team. Yuck. To be frank, Wake has 3 free wins, non-conference. Stanford is not. I think Stanford will be a bit more competitive in ACC games, though.
So what's his answer? I still don't know.
Wake Forest.
Okay.
Well, technically, no. See, that's a Blutman thing because he's saying
saying Stanford.
Of the actual ACC teams, Wake Forest is the worst, is what he's saying.
Yeah, I think it was just me, Blutman, and Ev, wasn't it, when we did like the teams that matter, or the least, what was it, Ev? The least toxic. Least toxic.
Yeah, the least toxic because they just don't even care.
And he was like, Stanford doesn't even exist. Like, our name a Stanford fan was his point. So Blutman's cheating a little bit. Okay, so let's go into.
But his bolded, to be clear for the record, his bolded answer is Wake Forest.
Okay.
Because he's refusing to acknowledge Stanford.
Yeah.
What a cheater. Okay, I want to go a different way because normally we've started with other things. Brandon, who's the coach of the year in the ACC?
God, that's the one I didn't even write down.
You want me to start?
You want to go somewhere else?
No. It's kind of a cop out.
No, it's not.
You go, T-Bob. You go, T-Bob.
Okay.
Mine's going to sound, when I say mine, the jaws are going to drop. That's all I'll say. Go.
Oh, wow. Okay, I'm going very chalky with mine. I think Clemson goes undefeated, and I think that makes Dabo Coach of the Year. And I think it's an award built off of the storyline of We all declared Dabo dead. We all declared Dabo backsliding into irrelevance due to his unwillingness to evolve. And if there's one thing we love as media covering this sport, we love when a person proves us wrong and fights against the kind of narrative that we describe to them. And here's little old Dabo doing it his way, sticking with it. And so I'm just going Dabo Swinney to once again win Coach of the Year in the ACC.
So I'll just add on to you because my answer is the same, which it does feel kind of chalky, but at the same time, he's obviously won so many things and you usually don't see that with Coach of the Year after a while. But the amount of times we've talked about his refusal to evolve, and you put that in air quotes, like just he will not evolve with the transfer portal. He will not evolve. He's only going to get high school recruits. He's never going to win the big one again. I find that completely wrong. I think he will be. That's why I still put him up as the number one coach in the country. I understand, after Kirby Smart, but beside the point, I think he's going to get him back. He's going to get him back. When they lost to Duke a couple seasons ago, when Mike Elko was there, it was like the dynasty's dead. It's not dead as long as Dabo's there. And I think that he's going to win Coach of the Year easily this year. Ev.
My pick for Coach of the Year is not Dabo Swinney. It is Pat Narduzzi of the Pitt Panthers. I think they're going to have a solid year this year. Holstein getting hurt for them was massive. He was awesome at the beginning of the season. Legit freshman. The offense fell off massively once he was gone. I think him being back healthy, Desmond Reed back.
Yeah.
I also think the schedule breaks seasonally well for them. I do think that we've shown last year that really matters in college football. I like Narduzzi this year. I think Pitt has a big year this year.
Brandon?
Okay, I know how to do this. So I'm going to say my Coach of the Year, and the very next topic I will start off, and it will be the surprise team of the year because they work hand in hand.
Yes.
Okay.
Because I'm doing what you cowards won't do, and I'm picking a surprise Coach of the Year because obviously Dabo's the best coach in the fucking conference. Everybody knows that. That's why I won't win it. That's why Nick Saban never won.
No. But the difference here is specifically the storyline angle.
Fair.
It's
That's
that
what
we
I-
declared
and
him. It's that we declared him dead. So if he reigns supreme once again, that's something the media will get behind.
Who did Blutman
Which is
say?
why I said that usually guys like Nick Saban or Kirby Smart or whatever, like after a while they won't win it anymore. Belichick wouldn't win it anymore.
I don't think
in the
Dabo
NFL.
can win it either. I don't think Dabo is capable of winning ACC Coach of the Year because it's just understood how much better he is. than
I
everybody.
guess I think maybe, and then that's completely fair.
Yeah.
Like I'm not arguing against that. I just think the difference with like a Kirby or Nick is they never had the lull that it appeared that Dabo had from the heights. He had here. Blood said Manny Diaz from Duke. He did not elaborate, but Manny Diaz.
All right.
Brandon,
so
go ahead.
my Coach
I
of
really
the Year.
like Manny Diaz.
Well,
I don't know what to tell you. I'm trying to work my blood
you're doing
impression.
pretty good.
That was getting better. That one was better.
Keep working on it.
I really like Manny Diaz. Okay, we'll find him. Yeah, we'll zero it in.
My Coach of the Year very nearly got fired. My surprise team of the year looked like they were dead in the water. Two things happened at the end of last season. A, the school got this gigantic gift of money that they're not used to getting for the athletic program. They then took that gift and went out in the transfer portal and retooled this roster and rebuilt this roster.
Kind of shocking.
And they really went out and attacked the transfer portal to the point where this coach hasn't been able to do it before. And this coach, after they got the gift, the university looked at the coach and the assistant and said, "No, we believe in you guys. You're coming back." And that belief will turn itself around this year for my surprise team of the year, led by my Coach of the Year, Tony Elliott at the University of Virginia.
Okay.
Virginia is in a place. They have not been a very good football team. I think we all agree with that. They haven't done the things. I'm trying to see what they were 5-7 last year. I think 5-7 last year. They've been closer than you think though. And this year the schedule. I'm big on schedules this year. This year the schedule. They don't play Clemson. They don't play Miami. They missed the big two, and out of the bottom 6 of the ACC, they play 5 of them. Mm-hmm. So they're playing an easier ACC schedule. They've brought in a revamped roster. It's time for Tony Elliott to show something. The school said, "Hey, we believe in you." He's going to go with that belief. He's going to be the surprise Coach of the Year. When they win 7 games, when they win 8 games, that's enough for him to be the Coach of the Year in the ACC. And therefore, I will start this category out with my Virginia Cavaliers are the surprise team of the ACC.
So I agree with everything you said, maybe save for I don't know if you can win Coach of the Year at 8 wins. That's asking for a lot of nuanced understanding from voters on like the state of Virginia football over the last 15 years.
I think if chalk holds at the top and you have Dabo at Clemson, who was expected to do this, and you have maybe Cristobal finishing second at Miami, who probably should finish first or second every year. If it is static at the top, then I believe you look throughout the rest of the conference and maybe a Georgia Tech or a Louisville who was expected to win 8 or 9 games doesn't, and Virginia does.
Yeah.
I think that puts them, that catapults them to something like that. Coastal Carolina to start at NC State in a non-ACC game. William & Mary, Stanford, Florida State. So they start conference play with Florida State and Stanford at home. They get off to a 2-0 start at home if they were able to do that. They got at Louisville, Washington State, at UNC, at California, Wake Forest, Duke, Virginia Tech. It's just not that difficult of a run. And I think maybe 8, maybe 9 wins. And I think there's your surprise team of the ACC.
T-Bob, who's yours?
My surprise team of the ACC, you heard Big Ev choose Pat Narduzzi. I think a few weeks ago, maybe one of the first shows we did here, we talked about teams not getting enough hype, and Pittsburgh was my answer. So it will remain consistent, and Pittsburgh will be my answer for this as well. Like Ev alluded to, 7-0 start last year. And within that, they were actually playing like a top 20 football team. You know, Holstein goes down. They go 0-6 down the stretch. But it's not even just 0-6. It's actually like 0-6, but playing to the level analytically of a bottom 10 team in the entire country. Like the wheels didn't just fall off. The car fucking exploded and got atomized and no longer had any existence now. So you're like, okay, well, why do you believe in the bounce back? Because I think they have a lot going for them. They have Miami, Louisville, Notre Dame all at home. So all their toughest games are going to be at home. They got Desmond Reed coming back, 3-star no lineman. I really like Cade Bell, the OC. He's a guy who might be one of the next big names. I doubt he makes a jump to head coach from here. But like if somebody needs a big-time up-and-coming coordinator, he started at Valdosta State, coaching under his dad. When he finally got the OC job at Valdosta State, what'd they do? They scored the most points in a season ever for a Division II football team, won the national championship. Then he goes to Western Carolina. He made that offense into a top 10 offense in the country, averaging nearly 38 points a game. Then he goes to Pittsburgh last year, and again, for 7 games, it looked like one of the best offenses in the country.
Yeah.
Before it fell apart. So now you give Cade Bell year 2, Eli Holstein year 2, Desmond Reed. Like, yeah, there's a lot to like with Pittsburgh. Also, name to know defensively, Kyle Lewis. 101 tackles, 15 and a half tiffles, 7 sacks, 4 picks. And he leads a trio of linebackers called the Sharks, who every single one of them had a pick 6 last season. The only red flags I have for Pitt, they did not do anything in the transfer portal. I think them and actually Wake might have been one of these teams as well. One of just 4 Power 4 programs on a single 4-star transfer of the past 2 cycles. And there are other elements of their schedule that I don't love. They do have to go through FSU, Georgia Tech, Miami, and as I alluded to, Notre Dame. So give me Pitt as my surprise. I've always loved Eli Holstein. That's a Louisiana quarterback as well, so I'm probably biased. But I think he's one of the most underrated guys in terms of throwing and running.
Ev, who's yours?
Yeah, I mean, I talked about it with Narduzzi.
Yeah.
It's Pitt for me as well. I just think, like you said, Holstein, Desmond Reed, front 7's really good. Yeah, I mean, I just think they're poised to, and I think not getting Clemson's huge. In the big games, they have a really brutal end to the schedule, ending with Notre Dame at Georgia Tech, Miami. But Miami, they get it home. Louisville, they get it home. A lot of even Florida, obviously Florida State's, I think, still is kind of up in the air. I'm not like sold that they're just going to like come back to power. I just think there's a lot to like. I mean, T-Bob obviously just laid a lot of it out. I really like Pitt here to kind of put themselves in that like not out of that middle ground into that kind of that like 2 to 4 range in the conference, which to me would obviously be a surprise. Yeah, I like Pitt to be a contender to be in the ACC title game.
I was going to ask you too a brief question.
Yeah,
and he kind of answered it right there. So I do think Pitt is – people like Pitt, and people are – I mean, I think they're generally expected to do well. But what would constitute them being a surprise team? Is it playing for an ACC title or finishing that top 2 or 3? Is that what we're aiming at?
I think top 4. I think if they're in the top 4, they're a middle of the pack team. That I think it puts themselves in the top 4 of the conference.
So finishing over like an SMU or a Louisville or a Georgia Tech.
Yes.
Yeah. I think most of the projections for them like right at like 7, 8, 9.
Yeah.
Isn't that really? Yeah. So top 4 would be a surprise. Who did Liam have? Did he have Duke? I assume.
Yes, and last thing I want to say again, I felt like I was kind of boring and just number. It's all about Eli fucking Holstein. If you haven't watched Eli Holstein play, go watch Eli Holstein highlights. Like the dude's an absolute fucking dog. And if he can stay healthy this year, you will know Eli Holstein by the end of the year.
I'm also someone that is huge on when you see the offense fall off that much, and he's the only difference. Like this guy is a fucking stud.
Yes, that's a good point because it fell apart without him.
Sling the fucking rock.
Liam has let me see. I got Duke. Potential conference championship appearance plus 1,400 to make the playoff. I mean, there's no way, right? Duke. He's got Duke.
Yeah, I figured with the coach of the year pick, it would have to be. But do you what do you guys think? I mean, I know Duke was better last year than a lot of people thought that they would be. They're returning a lot. Like, do you think what would make Duke a surprise team? Being at the top of being top 5?
Well, no, I mean, it sounds like he thinks that he has. Well, I don't want to spoil his picks. He seems to think they are capable of playing for that conference championship. So I think Liam is predicting this as maybe like a second best team in the ACC. And look, they have a favorable schedule.
They do.
Mensah at quarterback is exciting. I was very interested to read that. I didn't realize Manny Diaz has turned in 9 top 25 defenses in a row, despite like all the different stops that he's been at, right? So you can count on Manny Diaz to be consistent on that side of the ball. So they have some things going for him. I'm just not ever since I talked to Mincy, and Mincy told me that he talked to the Tulane coaches, and they just kind of, feel like they put Mensah in like very favorable positions. I'm kind of down on Mensah now.
Brandon, how are you a Manny Diaz fan?
Not really. I mean, he's fine. He definitely stopped at Mississippi State, I think 2 years, and
I know I've told you why I don't like him.
Yeah, I think I have no real opinion about.
Why
Manny
don't you
Diaz.
like him, Kayce?
Because when I was with the SEC network and I did a Mississippi State game, and it was I think was it when Dak was there? I don't know, but like as a sideline reporter, we're supposed to say what we hear on the sidelines, right? And they were playing some shit FCS team. I don't remember, and Dan Mullen ripped into him, was like threatening to fire him. And I just reported what I had heard without like swearing. And I just said, hey guys, like it's getting heated down here. Manny Diaz is like pacing around. Dan Mullen wants to fire him. And I did that. And I got a call from like my boss at ESPN the next week. And I had he had watched it and complained to the athletic director. And then the athletic director called ESPN and ESPN called my agent about it.
That is mentally weak.
Thank you.
There's nothing I hate more, and college football coaches are the fucking worst. They all have rabbit ears. They're so fucking sensitive. How about you just win the game?
May I say one
thing? And
thing?
also, it was an FCS game on the SEC network. I was like 24 years old, and like that's what you want to fight about? How about you just coach your defense better, sir?
I think his one gripe would probably be, I'm guessing, I bet Dan Mullen threatened to fire him every game. I bet there's head coaches that threaten to fire their defensive coordinators every game, and it's just not news, and that's what he was probably arguing.
Here's my thing, and I've not been a sideline reporter for a very long time now, and like the fair complaint about sideline reporters is they always do fluff pieces, and the ones that actually tell you what's being said on the sidelines is why they're there. The whole point is that, and then now. After working that a couple of years, that coaches will literally shut that down. I had to go back to Starkville later that year, and I couldn't report anything about Manny Diaz because he was such a bitch about it. I was like, who are you, sir? You're a football coach coaching grown-ass men. Can you not worry about what I'm telling you? And just maybe be a better defensive coordinator. I don't know what to tell you.
He's pretty good, though.
I hate him.
All right.
Just that's the way I feel. It's been a long time. I'm sure it's water under the bridge. So it's going to sound like a chalk pick. But when you really look at what North Carolina has this year, I mean, T-Bob, you mentioned Gio Lopez. We don't know exactly what the timeline on Max Johnson's going to be.
Yeah. I was going to say, we all like Gio is kind of the headline, but Max is it's not decided. Like it still is a QB competition.
We don't know what his timeline looks like, and I know there's probably more answers inside the program. But the fact that you have those two guys there, they did really go out in the transfer portal. Like they got Thaddeus Dixon from Washington, and they got some good guys. The biggest question mark, which you mentioned off the top too, of outside of Clemson, the storyline is Bill Belichick. There's been so many stories surrounding him with his girlfriend, with can he recruit in college? He's in his 70s, like should he have just retired? They opened the season with TCU. And I know in the Big 12 preview, we talked about how good a lot of people think TCU is going to be. I think that game is going to be incredibly highly viewed. We've seen this in the past. We've seen this over the past couple of years, right? These big storyline hires. Everybody wants to watch it. I think that North Carolina is going to have a better season than a lot of people think. I don't think that they're going to be at the top of the conference. I don't think they're going to be playing for an ACC title. A lot of people are looking at 2026 as kind of like their, really jump off year. But I think they're going to win a lot of games. I do. And I think that Bill Belichick, whether he's actually doing all the nitty gritty in college football recruiting or not, I think there's a lot of people saying like, why is Bill doing this? He's used to professionals. I think that they're going to win some games because they actually do have a lot of talent. And I think that's going to be surprising to a lot of people who kind of think that he's only there just to get Steven the job in a few years.
It will be fascinating to see because like you're alluding to, like a lot of college football greatness comes from just being able to amass talent. Belichick's greatness comes from being able to game plan. Mm-hmm. Can he translate the game planning advantages that he would create in the NFL where guys have to be able to keep up mentally, where there's a line outside the building of guys who are basically as good physically that won't fuck it up. Like, can he translate that to college players, to a college defense? For what it's worth, I was pretty impressed to read about, I didn't realize the turnaround that Steve Belichick led for Washington's defense.
Yeah, that was good.
Yes.
They were fucking god-awful and then didn't just get good, they got great. So, like, maybe he can affect that same sort of change, but that's kind of what I'm zeroed in on.
And that's why I do think that it'll be, when you look at surprise, I mean, it's kind of just relative to whatever you're going to say. Like, that's why we've asked what would make Pitt a surprise. To me, I think that, it'd be very easy to kind of look at the circus around North Carolina, which there will be, there's no doubt, and Bill Belichick and all the things off the field. But I think on the field, it's going to be surprising how quickly it does translate. Like I said, they're not going to be the, top two in the league. But I think that first week against TCU, people are going to be surprised. I think TCU will probably win that game. But by the time I get to week one, I might even change my mind on that. I think it's going to be.
What an interesting time that we live in, where you could have UNC and Duke both chosen as a surprise teams. Bill Belichick and Manny Diaz. Nuts in your mouth, bitch! Fuck yes! I've been waiting for 10 minutes, and I had to find an angle, and I fucking got there. All right,
Brandon.
Sorry. I had to get that out of my system.
The clip that resurfaced, was it JP from Bussin' with the Boys that did it today? The clip of you on the Brandon Walker College Football Show getting
Candace
to say happy birthday to Candace.
Yeah, that was great. That's one of my all-time favorites.
Cried.
One of my all-time favorites.
I forgot how good that was.
Thank you for trying to help me out the last name. I kind of betrayed your trust there.
Poor Brandon. Okay, let's go to most disappointing team. Ev, I will start with you.
This one, I had a hard time with this one. I ended up with I went with Louisville. I don't know. I don't fully see it. Listen, I like Miller Moss. I don't love Miller Moss. I hate their schedule. It's fucking brutal. I'll just pull it up just for I know they pretty much play like the other top teams. They had Clemson, at SMU, at Miami, at Pitt. I don't know. I don't see it. I don't love this team. I think they fall more. I think people are talking about them as being like a dark horse to be like in the title game as well. I don't see it. I think they're more like a middle of the road conference team. Yeah, Louisville.
T-Bob?
I actually, this one was obvious for me, and I did not back off my original answer the more I read about the conference. I don't know how it's not Miami. And does not say they'll have a disaster season, but the expectation is that they should be the second best team in this conference. And I think there is a sentence from our Pick Six previews that really tells the entire story. Quote, Ward was picked number 1 overall, 1,000-yard back Damian Martinez drafted, and the top 6 pass catchers all depart. Okay, so let's think about that for a second. So look, I get it. They had elite talent. They still have elite talent, and they couldn't get it done under Chris Paul. Like, if I don't believe that Carson Beck is better than Cam Ward, even if he is still very good, how then can I expect him to have more success than Ward did when he's walking into a worse situation? He's losing all the top receivers, losing Dave Martinez. I mean, the back's still great, whatever. But like, again, it's very simple. Like, even if they, whatever defensive improvement they end up showing will be offset by an offense that is no longer the best offense in the entire nation, which is what they had last year. I mean, if they don't have Cam Ward, that's a 4-loss team last season, maybe pushing 5. So again, like, Beck could still end up being pretty good, maybe even very good, but I don't know what has changed to why they would be better than last year when they were better last year. So no, give me Miami to be a disappointment.
I think this is tipping off maybe a later pick for me. I agree with you that they're going to take a drop off at offense, because how can they not? It was the number 1 offense in the country, Cam Ward. I think Carson Beck is going to be good enough, but I think the defensive improvement, they've got a new defensive coordinator, a top 25 class recruiting, top 25 transfer portal class. I think that their defense is going to get better enough to where it will be able to offset a little bit in a league that really is just kind of up in the air. Like, because I do believe that their offense is going to be good enough to keep up with a much improved defense. I understand the concern completely. When you lose Cam Ward, you do that. I also still believe that Carson Beck is a very good quarterback. I think the situation at Georgia with all the injuries, just everything that went down with him, like, I still believe, and maybe I'm stupid for this, I still believe in the hype that we had around him after Stetson Bennett, and I just think the situation at Georgia just was not good for him. But I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, Ward was the best quarterback. Beck could be very good. Ward was the best, and they barely hung on by the skin of their teeth.
The defense was abysmal.
Yes, exactly. But they had all that talent last year, and it was abysmal. So yes, if a coach change improves, sure, but the offense is going to step back. So yeah, and how the fuck can you trust Christopher?
He went 10-2 last year. We act like he didn't.
I almost went Miami. The 2 things that held me back from picking Miami was I do think the defense will be improved, and the one thing, really, the main thing, is that their offensive line is going to be fucking awesome.
Yeah, they are great.
That's the one thing. And now your point on it is fair in terms of, like, because my angle was show me one team that had a great offensive line and was bad.
Yeah,
but you're not saying they're going to be bad. It's just I understand they're predicted to be like a top 2-3 team.
Yeah, like I don't think they're going to make the championship. I don't think they're going to make the championship game. And if Miami does make the championship game, that's a disappointment.
It was just the offensive line. I think is going to be awesome. They'll get a push. But I agree with you. I think Cam Ward definitely bailed them out of a lot of things that
absolutely
that would have gotten them in trouble with normal quarterbacks.
But the issue of, like, when we watched Cam Ward play last year, it was like if he just had a slightly better defense, then they would be up. They could have been in the playoff. To me, it's like
would have been.
They absolutely would have been. To me, it's like we don't need the best quarterback in the country and just a slightly better defense to get there. It's like, even if they take a drop off, I think that what's going to happen with the defense is going to meet it closer. Like, it's going to close that gap a little bit. And it's, again, more of an indictment of the ACC for me.
That's true.
Brandon, who's your disappointing team?
Can I have 2?
You can do whatever you want.
Because none of you have said the right answers, and there's 2 right ansers, and I'd like to have one.
I'm interested.
I have one.
Well, can you?
I know what one of them is going to be.
Yeah, I've already kind of alluded to that one, but can you go ahead and say yours, Kayce?
I think it's going to be SMU.
Yeah.
Is that one of them?
Yeah, that's definitely.
SMU, we were just everything. I mean, we've talked about SMU and a couple of podcasts ago. Like, I think they made the playoffs. Obviously, Kevin Jennings is one of those names. Everybody's excited that they're returning. It's a rebuilding year on defense, and to make it to the playoff the way that they did, and Rhett Lashley, talking all the shit he was at ACC Media Days. Like, SMU has a ton of money. SMU has a lot of potential. SMU has a lot of hope. They're not going to make it back to the playoff this year. They shouldn't have been in the playoff last year if Miami would have had just a slightly better defense. So to me, SMU is going to be disappointing this year. I don't think that Kevin Jennings makes the big difference that he did, because I think the defense is going to be really bad, and they're not going to make it back. They're not going to play in the ACC title, and that's going to be disappointing for them.
Oh, they're not going to get close. They got some come to Jesus meetings coming to them.
I mean, they play Baylor week 2.
Yeah,
they're gonna get killed.
No, they're going to go 7-5 or 6-6. Like, they led a charmed life last year, and They made a hell of a debut in the conference. They're 15th in returning production and defense in the ACC. They're not my pick. Can I have two or can I have one? I guess since you said SMU, I don't really have to take it,
Well,
even though
I want to add an SMU point before we move on.
Yeah.
Okay. Which is that this is a great opportunity for Rhett Lashley here because he doesn't have any pressure on him. Like, it'll be disappointing if they have a 7-5 season.
Yeah.
Right. Sure. But they just made the playoff last year. Like, nobody's going to bail on Rhett. He's posted back-to-back 11-win seasons.
He's just waiting for Arkansas to call T-Bob.
He's the back-to-back 11-win seasons. I guess my perspective is they're replacing all this talent. And so we know their roster is not what it was last year. If he can get the results to a similar space, then he will get a ton of credit as being one of the best coaches in the entire country for elevating that roster. Like, if he could somehow get them back to the ACC championship, then he'll get that call from Arkansas and everybody else.
Can I say one other thing?
Yeah.
I am about sick of hearing about how much money SMU has. Their recruiting class in high school didn't finish top 25. Their transfer portal class was middle of the pack in the ACC. All this money that they have, you know who else has a lot of money? Every fucking body. Everybody. Everybody's got a lot of money. Yeah, okay, they're in Dallas. Yeah, they got rich oil money. You know what? So does everybody else in Texas. Everybody else in Texas has a whole lot of money. All this is like this future potential money. We're like, oh my God, you see how much money SMU has? Well, how come it isn't in their transfer portal class? How come it's not in there? They did it. They had a good.
They signed a better high school class than they normally sign.
Right. They got because they're in the ACC now. Because they're now in a big league.
Also, I will say, and maybe this is just a big school bias, but when it comes to, SMU does have a shitload of money. They're also just a tiny little school, in comparison to other schools in Texas. So
how much when you rank money in the state of Texas, they're still behind A&M. They're still behind Texas. They're probably behind a couple other schools.
Dude, I don't know if they're honestly. I don't know if they're behind.
If they had the money that A&M had, they would have spent the money A&M spent. And they don't.
They spent $200 million to join the ACC like it was nothing.
Right.
$200 million.
They sure did. And
that's
I think they
for
might
A&M
have
Texas.
two billionaires on, and that's nothing for SMU. They might have, again,
No, I know.
they spent $200 million, not going towards players, not going towards facilities, just to join.
that's great.
I think SMU, it's not going to show up this year. Over time, that money's going to be loud.
SMU does have a shitload of money. There's no doubt about it, but it's Texas oil
I get
money.
what you're
in
saying.
general.
Everybody's got money.
I get what you're saying in that it hasn't immediately transferred to them having like the number one, like Texas Tech's transfer portal class or anything. I think over time it will.
They're not going to outspend Clemson. They're not going to outspend Florida State. They're not going to outspend anybody in the ACC. They're going to
Let me
outspend
also
these
preface
teams.
too, when I say SMU has a lot of money, there are a lot of people who went to and graduated from SMU that have a shitload of money. I don't know how much of that is coming into the athletic department. I don't believe they're ever going to outspend Texas or A&M just because of the sheer size of those schools. And also, both A&M and Texas can spend a shitload of money. But I will say that in T-Bob, the only thing I would push back on you with, he doesn't have any pressure. I don't think he has any pressure for his job by any stretch of the imagination. He is safe there. But I do think the double-edged sword of making it to the college football playoff in the first year of the expansion, then it's like that is the expectation now for him. It's like, okay, well, if you don't make it to the ACC title game, if you don't make it to the college football playoff, then it is a disappointing year for them because you did it in year one of the 12-team
The only pressure he has is, what does the Fayetteville housing market look like?
It's
What
going to be.
does Fayetteville, is he going to be able to get a good rate? Is he going to be able to get in a good neighborhood? What are the country club situations? Will the Walmart money just take care of? That's all he's thinking about. What kind of diet's he going to want? Does he need to move close to a Mexican restaurant? I don't know. That's the only pressure he has to worry about.
So I think that if SMU does struggle this year, you'll see an interesting effect where, because of what you're talking about, Kayce, having supped from the chalice of success, if they're thrown back down to 7-5, that will be a catalyst for people to go all in monetarily and increase the donations even more. And I think they will outspend Florida State. I don't know about Clemson, but I think they will outspend every other team in the ACC.
All right. Well, this was too much side discussion on SMU, and that was my fault because they were going to be. I was going to pick 2, and they were certainly going to be. You know what? I want to because that's my answer.
Go for it.
There's
Go for
2
it.
teams that are going to be the most disappointing. They're one of them. Last year was great, incredible. This ain't last year. All right. They're going 7-5, and they're going to be disappointed.
They do have an easy schedule again. They had the easiest Power 4 schedule in the country last year.
That's fine.
They have all 5 of the ACC bottom 5 on the schedule.
That's fine. And then the other one is, and I've already alluded to it in previous shows, I think Georgia Tech is going to be a disappointment. I think they're going to lose to Colorado to open the season. I think they're going to lose to Clemson in their first ACC game. They're going to be 2-2 in September. I'm wondering where all the hope and promise went. Haynes King is good. The running back is very good. New offensive line, three new starters on the offensive line. So if you're a tough, bust them up, I'm going to run the ball down your fucking throat team like they are and like they want to be. 3 new starters on the offensive line is not a small issue. If you're a tough, rough, bust them up team and your biggest change defensively is in your front 7, where your defensive line and your linebacker core is where you're having to replace the most. If you're having to replace your defensive coordinator, like I'm built on toughness. All my toughness has been sapped away from me by either transfers or by guys leaving or by guys graduating, mostly by guys graduating. So everybody wants to pick them, and they're the next thing, and they look like I think they're a team. They look a lot like the Virginia Tech team from last year that came in with so much hype, so much everything, but they were missing in the middle of their team, and they lost to Vanderbilt to start the year, and I think this team's going to lose to Colorado, and they're going to be chasing it all season. Georgia Tech.
Ev, I know you've been kind of high on Georgia Tech, haven't you? Or am I wrong?
Yeah, I'll save it for later.
Oh
boy.
Okay.
Yeah, because
I'll
okay, then I'll wait till you talk about it. For Liam, he has let me see. I just accidentally SMU, tough schedule, taking a step back after a perfect storm of a season, checks out. Don't love Kevin Jennings, love new weapon running back Derek McFall. He has SMU at 8 wins or less. There you go.
That's his disappointing team?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's go breakout player in the ACC in
All right,
2025.
Since they did SMU and they're on the graphic anyway, just give me Georgia Tech. All right.
Okay. All right. T-Bob, I'll start with you. Who's going to break out this year?
My breakout player, as I repeat your question because I'm filling time because I wasn't ready for you to be. Here we go. Okay, CJ Bailey, NC State quarterback. Last season, very disappointing year for NC State. It kind of seems like the Dave Doring way. Always get to 9 wins, never get to 10. Last year, they thought it was going to be the breakthrough year. It all fell apart, but the kind of silver lining, bright, shining light amidst all the bad was freshman quarterback CJ Bailey. I didn't realize, if you look at all the freshman starters last year, that in terms of QB rating, only Mensah, Lagway, and Raiola were better. Yet we talk about those other guys. We never talk about Bailey.
Yeah.
6'8", massive dude. Great running back coming back, and Hollywood Smothers. And even though they lose Concepcion, I mean, he didn't play last year anyway. So, Bailey doesn't have any experience with him. So it's to me, I don't think NC State's going to be good, but if you talk about a player that flashed last year that could take a big step forward this year, give me CJ Bailey from the Wolfpack.
And Ev, who is your breakout player?
Kayce, read your text.
What did I just text? What do you mean read my text?
I said read your text.
Sorry, CJ Bailey's 6'6".
Oh.
I think I said 6'8". That's crazy.
What did I say in the text?
Give breakout player to me next.
Yes.
Okay, Brandon, you're next.
Ditto. Mine's CJ Bailey.
I got him. Let's go.
I just didn't
hey,
want to.
thank you for allowing me to cuck Brandon there.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's very kind of you.
And everything he said was exactly right. He had a bad start last year because he was a true freshman, and by the end of the year, he was pretty good. Big guy, huge guy. NC State's always a team that's just well coached, in the mix. I think he's going to be fantastic. I like CJ Bailey. Ditto to everything he said. And before Big F says his, you know what else is fantastic? Hot and hearty and piled high subs at Firehouse Subs. Every sub is served hot and hearty, stacked with premium
Yummy.
meats, melty cheese, and freshly toasted rolls that deliver bold flavor in every bite. I love the New York Steamer.
Yeah, me too.
I'm just going to – have you had it yet? Can we go get one, Could me and you go get a New York steamer together?
Yeah, I would love to get a New York steamer with you.
That's fantastic. Me and T-Bob are going to split a New York steamer. Actually, when I say split, we're both going to get the biggest ones
Yeah.
together. Yes. Also, don't miss the limited time smoking barbecue triple stack, a hearty combo of slow smoked brisket, turkey, and ham. Available with your choice of Carolina Gold or classic barbecue sauce only at Firehouse for a limited time. You can score big with online ordering. Order online through the Firehouse Subs app. Get up to $10 off your first order. It's fast. It's easy. It's delicious. Game day is coming. Are you ready to eat like a champion? From preseason predictions to draft parties, game day countdowns, Firehouse Subs is your MVP. Let them handle the food so you can focus on the plays. Fall is coming fast, so don't fumble your food game. Order Firehouse Subs through the app. Get up to $10 off your first order. Hot subs, easy ordering, game day handled. Order Firehouse Subs now at participating U.S. restaurants. Offer valid for 1 week with after account registration. Additional terms apply. Big Av, who is your breakout player in the ACC?
So I was thinking CJ Bailey, but now I feel like I can't. Well, here's my dilemma.
You're the champ, though, dude. You choose.
Here's my dilemma. I was between two guys. In my theory going into this, Eric Rivers is someone who I don't know if I consider a breakout. He had a big year last year in a smaller conference. The way I view it, I don't see that as a breakout because he broke out last year. But in the terms of these graphics we're doing, other people have been choosing guys like that. For example, like a Devin Dampier.
Yeah.
He was breakout. I wouldn't consider that a breakout. He had a big year last year. But for the sake of not wanting to just be Bailey across the board, I will go Eric Rivers.
It's a good pick.
In this situation, obviously I'm high on Georgia Tech. Was incredible last year. One of the best playmakers in Conference USA. I think he has a big year this year as well. I think he steps right in. I think he's that kind of playmaker. You play on the outside and the inside, big play threat, and in the slot. Give me Eric Rivers from Georgia Tech.
Well, and it's a great point by Ev because with the Department of Singleton going to Auburn, like the production is up for grabs.
Yeah, the plays are there.
They're even both named Eric.
Yeah,
it's like in completely underrated movie, but it's like in Beer Fest when
oh my God, Beer Fest!
when landfill dies. And then they have his twin brother show up, and he's like, you know what, guys? Why don't you just call me Lamp? And he's like, you know what? Let's just pretend like nothing. Why don't you just call me Lamp? They just replaced Eric Singleton with Eric Rivers. 5'11" speedster. Gonna kick ass. It's a great pick, F.
Who did Liam Blutman pick?
Gideon Davidson, running back, Clemson.
Oh, he just transferred to me in my NCAA dynasty.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Gideon did?
He's good.
Boring pick because it's the probable / eventual running back one for a loaded Clemson team. Fun pick because it's true freshman who's about to showcase his NFL talents from a very early stage of his collegiate career. Ghana-born, 6', 200-pound back with a track background. Promising blend of size, speed, and strength. Paired with an uncanny ability to explode and break away from defenders. Patient, great vision, will be a menace between the tackles and catching balls at the backfield. A do-it-all player with all-star potential. Gideon Davidson.
You've gotten good at that.
It's
you know, it's
going
like
okay.
I can see his face
It's
when you're
getting
doing
better,
it.
yet somehow
Worse.
It's also
Worse?
getting worse.
Yeah, I can't explain it. It's like every now and then it dips the toe in the water of being okay.
Yeah.
And then I lose it. It's tough
Then
to
you're
grab.
like some sort of chef, like you're some sort of TV chef talking about ingredients or something.
I feel like I'm too often stumbling into an offensive Jewish accent.
Yeah, it's weird.
No, it's
keep
like
working. Keep working.
It's
Yes.
like a parody of Blutman. It's like a bad parody, but it's supposed to be bad. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Look at your thoughts.
You're getting some Junior Soprano in there.
Am I? Okay, see, I've never even seen Sopranos, so I don't know. That's on me. I know, Ev, I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry, bro.
You can't say that around these New York motherfuckers.
Sorry.
That's like shit.
T-Bob, I will tell you this.
What are you doing with your time? What else are you doing?
I watched
Sopranos.
T-Bob. I watched it for the first time ever last year in the off season, so
Okay.
before the 2024 season, and I watched it straight through because it was one of those shows that I was like, I'm not going to do this. Like, I'm sick of everybody saying that it's one of the best shows ever. That's also back when like episode
Not
or
one of the.
season. Well, Breaking Bad's better. The seasons were like 25 episodes long, and they're all an hour long. It's it's worth it. It's worth it. Next off season, it is worth it. I know you have like a million kids, and that's very
That's what I've
hard
always
to
heard.
do.
That's what I've always heard. I'll get it eventually. It's a pop culture blind spot that I need to rectify.
It does remind you of back in the times when episodes could be so long and there were so many of them. Like if it was made now, like the pacing of it would be so much better. The pacing is bad in comparison to what we get now because there's just so many.
Oh, that's crazy. That's crazy.
There's a lot of
Football.
I love The Sopranos. I love it. Okay, anyways, I already hinted at it earlier, and I know we don't know if he's for sure going to start or not. And I think Blutman might even push back because he was at South Alabama. It's going to be Gio Lopez. I think he will win the starting job at North Carolina. He at South Alabama, he threw for over 2,500 yards, rushed for almost 500. He's got some, great receivers. I don't know if he'll start right away. We'll see what happens with Max Johnson. But I do think that Gio Lopez adding to North Carolina in the ACC, he's going to be one of those guys that we're looking at. We're like, yep, this is the breakout name. And Liam's not here to tell me otherwise. Like when you play at a much smaller school that's not in the Power Four and you go to a Power Four school, especially with all the hype that North Carolina will have, and you go out and North Carolina, and we know with Mac Brown, had NFL receiver or NFL quarterbacks, and they couldn't win anything. I'm not saying Gio Lopez is going to be of that caliber right away, but I think that he's going to be a guy that we're really paying attention to, and I think he takes that starting job pretty quickly at North Carolina.
I wish Liam was here for the shop it up. We're gonna look in 3 years, and we're gonna be like, wait, Gio Lopez and Fluff Bothwell were together on South Alabama. I'm telling you, studs.
Yeah, no, that's why the obvious storyline in the ACC is Bill Belichick, but that's why I think that this team they do have so many question marks that I feel like could be answered in an exciting way, and I think and Max Johnson's a fine quarterback. There's no doubt about that, but I think Gio Lopez is good enough to where he'll take that starting job. Okay, let's go the Liam Blutman Ball Knowers Big Game presented by Brandon Walker. Ev, I will start with you.
So mine, this is the first one I'm doing that it's actually towards the end of the season, second last week of the season, November 22nd. Pitt at Georgia Tech. I really, obviously with everything I've been saying, this would lead to be a collision course of two teams that will be battling for an opportunity to play for an ACC championship. I stand by that, and I talked about before. They both end the year with pretty tough schedule, tough runs because they play each other. I think both teams are going to be good. I talked about Pitt before. They played Notre Dame and Miami to end the season. Obviously, Georgia Tech plays Georgia, but obviously that doesn't matter for the conference. But obviously, still a big game, rivalry game. But yes, November 22nd, Pitt at Georgia Tech, a massive, massive game for this conference. I really believe the winner of that game will be playing for an ACC title.
All right, T-Bob, yours.
It's interesting. I almost went with Pitt as well, but Ev, that's actually probably my favorite game. That's a perfect answer. And Liam has a Pitt game as well. So I'll go with the one that I had written down here, which is Louisville at Miami, October 17th. And it's all the same reasons that
I hate you.
I'm sorry you did this to yourself.
You
called on me. You've cucked yourself, Kayce.
Yeah, I did. I cucked myself, but double down whatever you say because that's also my pick.
Look, it's really just the exact same reasons that Ev said, right? Even though maybe this isn't quite a ball numbers game because I feel like this should ring a bell on most people's radar, but then it's like the ACC, so kind of like we were talking about before we even started recording, Kayce, this is probably the conference that you least organically find yourself watching as a fan. So whatever, we'll go Louisville at Miami simply because those are two of the teams in that group of four that are battling to challenge Clemson in the championship game.
Well, and that to me, another reason I picked it too, because I agree with you. Inside the conference, obviously Louisville, Miami is always going to be a big game, but you also have Carson Beck, you have Miller Moss, you have some big name quarterbacks, and I feel like because it's mid-season, it'll be for lack of better terms, it'll be a heat check of who is going to go against Clemson in the national championship or in the ACC title game. And the reason I had it is because it was hard for me to choose who I thought was going to play Clemson in the title game. And when I went through the ACC schedule, this was one of those games where I was like, okay, that would be a good choice there. Brandon, what's your game?
I mean, you take any combination of Miami, Georgia Tech, Louisville, Pitt, SMU, and you probably put them together. So mine, just to be very quick, I chose an early one because I think early momentum. We too often look towards mid-late October or November as the important games. But whoever wins that Louisville-Pitt game on September 27th is springboarded into the conference play and positioned much better whoever loses it is fighting from behind the rest of the time. So I had Louisville Pitt. Again, they're in that combination of teams that you can just throw them in as part of this category. Louisville at Pitt on September 27th.
Well, Brandon, I've got Miami at Pitt November
Is he
29th.
British now?
No, what's it? Was it
Are you
British?
doing Planet Earth?
Brandon, I've got Miami at Pitt November 29th.
The Lonely Meerkats.
Obviously, we live in the world where Pitt beats Miami and prevents the Canes from going to the ACC title game.
Talk about a prairie dog on the vast plains of
A prairie dog?
No. You were doing the British like David Attenborough thing at first.
Hey, if you wanted me to do a David Attenborough,
There we
more
go.
around this right here. Like, oh look, and if you see the wild prairie dog peeks his head quite concernedly, aiming for predators sneaking in the bush. Will his family survive?
I need to
Only
use this
time
voice
will
more.
tell.
Yeah, I love it. Fantastic.
That was good. Okay, Ev, your player of the year in the ACC.
This is easy, super easy. Cade Klubnik, next question.
Sweep the board.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cade Klubnik.
He's the guy.
Anybody not have Cade Klubnik? Does Liam?
No, Liam's got. He said no, and in parentheses he says everyone's pick unless someone wants to be Diffie, which #respect.
I said if they want to be different, I think Carson Beck is worth pausing over his talent. The talent is there. Whatever went wrong at Georgia, if it's him, he'll fail. If it was Georgia, he might succeed and might climb back to where you thought he was going to be. But it's Cade Klubnik.
I think TJ Parker could be interesting, but again, how does he outshine Klubnik?
Yeah.
So, Brandon, with what you just said, and to go back to what I said with T-Bob when he said Miami is going to be disappointing, we'll just get right into the title game and championship. I have Miami playing Clemson in the title game because I do think that Carson Beck has the talent he's never going to be Cam Ward. I'm not saying he's going to be Cam Ward, but he's going to keep the offense.
Can I stop you there? Can I stop everybody? Mm-hmm. He could be Cam Ward. This motherfucker's talented as fuck. Like he doesn't have the receivers this year, but Cam Ward had a really good year. He wasn't Jesus. Like Carson,
he was unquestionably the best quarterback, best offense in the country. Was the number one draft pick
going into last season. If we in a lot of rankings, Carson Beck was the number one quarterback in the country.
Yes,
that is true.
And that's what Cam Ward was, correct? So
and I'm not using this saying that Carson Beck's
Ward.
not good, but here's the deal: when he had that number one quarterback ranking, who was he throwing to?
Bingo.
Not really anybody.
Brock Bowers and Lad
Yeah,
McConkey.
2 years ago, yes.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Last year he didn't have anybody.
And look at what happened. And so this year he's not going to have anybody because Restrepo and all them are
he
gone.
ain't going to be playing Texas and fucking LSU this year.
I think Beck's going to be very good, but Cam Ward was like, I think it gets lost because Miami fucked it up. But like
he was incredible.
He was incredible.
But when she said and she's picking Miami, so obviously he's going to be good. I don't want it to be said that
I do think you could say he will not be Cam
Carson
Ward.
Ward can't be.
The reason I'm saying that is
Carson Ward can be great.
Carson
I've
Ward.
been very high on him.
Carson, whatever his name is, Carson Beck.
I said when he said that Miami's going to be disappointing, and actually when we talked about our top 10 quarterbacks, I have Carson Beck in my top 10 quarterbacks for 2025. I think he's going to be great. I don't think he's going to be the number one overall pick in the NFL draft. I don't think that he's going to be leading the best offense in the country, but that doesn't mean he's going to be bad. I think that even a little bit of drop off, if there is from a talent standpoint of the offense as a whole, the defense is going to make up for it. I think they're going to level. I think Carson Beck is incredibly talented. He couldn't stay healthy. There was a drama, Georgia, whatever that may be. I don't think that happens at Miami. So I have Miami playing Clemson. I absolutely love that Miami is starting the season with Notre Dame. I think that that's great. Like, Brandon, what are you guys doing in there?
Me? I'm smiling at you because I'm thinking like
We're not doing anything.
I know she can tell that I have a shit-eating grin on my face.
T-Bob had that smirk, and I was like,
I have
I've
a
seen that
smirk.
smirk a few
I have a
times.
smirk because I'm just wondering when you lay your head down on the pillow at night, what it feels like to know that you're trusting Mario Cristobal.
No, it's not. It's not great.
That feels risky.
But my point is, like, first of all, I don't think that Mario Cristobal is a bad coach by any stretch. I think Clemson's going to win the ACC title. I think we're all pretty. I mean, I don't know if anybody is going to pick anything else. I think it's Dabo's year. I think Cade Klubnik is going to do what he needs to do. Obviously, Clemson's defense is incredible. I believe in Carson Beck. I believe in this team to get back there. Again, the rest of the ACC to me is just not impressive. And I don't know why, like, we look at what Carson Beck's talent and we say, like, well, he just sucks because he didn't pan out at Georgia. Well, it wasn't just like he just was a bad quarterback. There was a lot of different things that went on. And I believe in it. I believe, and I don't believe in it enough to win the conference, but I believe in it enough to get to play Clemson there.
It's just weird when, like, and we don't have to make this a whole Beck thing, but it is interesting when you're seeing headlines about how Georgia, sources are saying that Carson Beck leaving the program was the literal best thing to happen to the program.
What do you think those dick-sucking reporters at Georgia who suck Kirby Smart off every fucking week?
If I was a beat writer at Georgia, I would swallow Kirby Smart's cum every fucking week.
There's a cottage industry.
Guaranteed.
There's a cottage industry of guys in Georgia, in Atlanta, in Athens, whose sole job it is to tell the Georgia fan base that everything's great and everything's wonderful. And this is so. What do you think they were going to say?
We've seen this before, and it's not that extreme. This is extra normal. To be Kirby talking about when Carson left, Kirby openly in the public himself saying that the boys play harder for Stockton.
Kirby's the most full of shit
guy.
Wild.
Kirby,
He's the most full of shit guy in
They
sports.
have a driving problem there. Kirby gets up there and wants to talk like bullshit when his entire team has been arrested for speeding. Like, I don't give a shit what Kirby Smart's saying. And I'm not saying that Carson Beck is the next coming of Jesus. I'm not saying that at all. But of course he's going to say, just like we've talked about in the past, T-Bob, that's self-serving. Carson Beck, when he was following up Stetson Bennett, it was like, if we won 2 national titles with Stetson Bennett, can you imagine what we're going to do with Carson Beck? And of course they're going to say that. He got $4 million to go play at Miami. He went to go date a Cavender twin. They just got their boobs redone. I'm just saying.
Nice. That didn't seem like a relevant detail.
But it is interesting.
Twins,
it is interesting nonetheless. Thank you.
I don't even know if they're together anymore, but like the Cavender.
He got caught cheating on her, I believe.
Yeah, no, wait, Kayce, you don't know the story? They were. Oh wait, they got back together. No way, they got back together after that.
I thought they did.
No. They went on that weekend.
Can we focus?
They were on a weekend. They were on a weekend vacation.
My point being, also the Cavender twins did just get their boobs done. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
It was all over the internet because
that's a distraction, Kayce.
They documented it. I'm just saying that I think that Carson Beck is still a very good quarterback. I believe that Miami's going to get there, and Kirby Smart saying anything about him is stupid.
Okay.
It's like anytime a player leaves, like under the guise of like, oh, it's better for the program. No, it's fucking not. Like, it might be, but they're not saying that right away. The boys aren't playing harder because Carson Beck is gone. That's bullshit.
Okay. Better surgery, Cavender boobs or Carson's elbow? What do you think, Brandon? What's going to be more impactful on Miami's season?
Well, probably Carson Beck.
Okay, that's a good answer.
Yeah.
No, so end of the day, my pick, Clemson, Miami play in Charlotte. Clemson wins the ACC title.
All
Brandon,
right.
would you like to go?
Yeah. And I got to pick up some. You walked in. You walked into the China shop and just knocked over a bunch of shelves and knocked over a bunch of shit. And I got to pick it up and put it back. 'Cause the answer is Clemson, Miami in the ACC championship game.
Yes.
Why? Because Miami is the second most talented team in the ACC.
And has been.
And last year, they were the second best team in the ACC. They did just fuck it up. They fucked it up.
Yeah.
They were
Their
a much
defense was atrocious.
Hold on. They were a much better football team than SMU. That's just undeniable. They were better than SMU. They fucked it up. They blew it. They lost to a Georgia Tech team 28-23, and then their defense just failed them at Syracuse. They blew it. They had the offense.
Cristobal failed them. He had a chance, 4th down, to give Ward the chance to win the game, and he fucking kicked a field goal, relying on his defense to come with a stop. That's who you're trusted.
It wasn't 4th and 2. It was 4th and 17. Anyway, so they were there. And also this other thing where you're saying, I can't believe you trusted Mario Cristobal. The guy went 10-2 last year. It's not like he was 6-6. I know he made the one bad decision a couple of years ago when he didn't take the knee against Georgia Tech, but that's one bad decision. Look at this roster. This roster, yeah, they got to replace all the the pass catchers. Sure, they got to replace the running back. You can replace running backs, no problem, and you know that. Receiver is a bigger issue. But
that's the bigger one, not the running back.
I'm guessing their offense takes a tick back, and they try to win games differently. They're not trying to win games 48-47 this year. Defensively, they brought in a metric shit ton of talent.
It's got to work out.
It's got to work out. But more importantly than that, they recognized last year that, what was his name? Guidry? I think Lance Guidry.
I know. My Louisiana guy wanted to do good.
He wasn't.
He was awful.
He was awful. And they cut that problem off. He's gone.
Yeah.
They went to a guy at Minnesota who's had top 25 defenses at Minnesota the last 3 years.
Row
so
the
don't
boat.
worry about what Miami's defense last year looked like. Worry about what Minnesota's defense looked like, and worry about the talent they brought in.
So
they're getting a lot better. Who is the second most talented team in the ACC?
Miami.
There's no doubt There's no questions. There's no anything. It is Miami.
Was Miami?
And also, and I know I mentioned this.
Second most talented last year. Yeah, you're right.
No. What about 2 years ago?
Yeah,
They went 7-6. What about 3 years ago?
Corey Heatherman is going to do enough improvement on that defense. But again, it's not even just they've always had a good roster. Like I mentioned, top 25 recruiting class, top 25 in the portal. It's not going to be like they're going to roll the same fucking defense out there, and that Carson Beck is going to be this massive drop off.
I thought this was Brandon's turn.
Oh, what's up?
You keep setting her up. Brandon's turn.
I'm arguing with y'all because I don't agree. We're at odds on Miami.
It's fine. Who is the second most talented? It is Miami. Clemson and Miami are significantly more talented than anybody in this conference.
I would agree with that.
I think the narratives that you're creating and other people created about Cristobal are wrong. I think the narrative that you're allowing Georgia of all teams, the absolute gas bag Kirby Smart that he is, to create a narrative about Carson Beck. If Carson Beck had come back this year, do you think he'd be saying, "Yeah, we didn't trust Carson Beck"? Fuck no, he wouldn't be saying that.
No.
So he is now at Miami. I think Carson Beck will be a good, solid quarterback. I think this offense will be good. The defense will be much, much better, and their talent will. And also, they're just better than Georgia Tech. They're better than SMU. They're better than Florida State. They're better than Louisville.
So this is the great part about football, though, right? The whole can be greater than the sum of its parts.
Sure.
And Miami is a sum of its parts team. And Mario Cristobal, whatever you want to say, has proven over the course of a very long head coaching career.
That very long is a stretch, isn't it?
He's been a head coach for 15 years. If you add, so let's take. I won't even take last year's record. Let's give him 10-3 last year.
Yeah.
His career record's 84-76.
Yeah.
He was 500 after 14 years of being a head coach, despite being at Oregon for half a decade. Like, I'm sorry. I've called him Christofraud for years now.
Sure.
So you're not going to get me to trust him. And if he proves me wrong, I used to call Steve Sarkisian Steve Fartkisian.
Yeah.
And he proved me wrong. Okay. And so now I give respect to Sark. He got me. But I'm not going to believe in Cristobal until he does. To me, 10-3 looks like the exception, not the rule. And it took the best offense in America to get there. And I don't think he can recreate it.
And one of the worst defenses that they could have rolled out with all that talent. And the reason I said that it's sometimes hard to trust him is because he does make, every Saturday we all are like, that coach made that bad decision. When you talk about big name coaches, Cristobal seems to kind of sneak in there. However, I think that the staff that he's got around him now, and we talked about the defensive coordinator hire in Heatherman, I think that they are going to not roll out a horrible defense and that Carson Beck is going to put together a good offense and they're going to be fine.
I'll say the only good point that's been made is Big Ev pointing out that they have a 6'9" offensive tackle, because that's pretty badass.
They got a bunch of good offensive linemen.
Ev, where do you land on the Miami conversation?
No, they're definitely the second most talented team, no doubt. It's the receivers that give me the most worry. We'll be fine. Offensive line's good. They'll be able to run the ball.
We're bogged down, guys. We're bogged down on Miami. We're discussing the first two people, and we all have a championship game and a champion to say. So we're bogging down on me and Kayce, slowing this thing down. So Big Ev, who is your championship game?
Listen, Clemson's going to win the championship. I think we're all in agreement on that. They're going to beat the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. This is my pick. This is the horse that I'm choosing to put all my chips in on. Brandon Bates had some concerns about the offensive line. That's fair. They had 4 guys all conference the offensive line. Now they bring back 1. Listen, the guy they brought back was first team all ACC last year. But the biggest things that they have going for them, Haynes King's a tough son of a bitch. Good quarterback. Jamal Haynes, the Haynes brothers.
Yeah, the Haynes boys.
Great running back. And the Brent Key, who is one of the best offensive line coaches in college football. If there's one guy that can develop this offensive line, it's him. And I know they lost some guys. I get it. They have 2 legit blue chippers coming in, a transfer and a 5-star freshman who's one of the best recruits I've ever had. He's going to get these guys right. I believe in it. Their defense is going to be good again. Tough, physical. They will be able to play tough and physical, Brandon. I truly, truly believe that. And I think they're a team that's been able to out-tough these teams. I said we talk about schedules. I like the way their schedule breaks as well. I know it starts – Colorado's not a conference game. If they lose that game, it doesn't really matter for them to play in this game. And then, listen, they get Clemson at home. They lose that game. It's fine. I think if they lose that Clemson game, they get Temple, at Wake, bye. Yeah. Virginia Tech at home, at Duke, Cuse at home, at NC State. I think they rattle off all those games, and all of a sudden they're coming on another bye. End the season with BC, Pitt, and Georgia. Like I said, Georgia, another big game that doesn't matter for the conference. I think they find themselves in this title game. I love Georgia Tech this year. I love Brent Key. I love Haynes King. Georgia Tech.
I mean, what do you know? Big Ev guy just knows ball. There's a reason why he won this event last year. Because I also.
Oh.
I like that I spurred Brandon into talking with his nuts on Clark in his mouth.
Brandon loves nuts in his mouth. We know that.
He does.
Popcorn.
It is popcorn. Why is it called nuts? All right, anyway, doesn't matter. I got Georgia Tech as well. Ev nailed it. The Haynes boys, number 2 in the ACC in returning production. The O-line's concerned, certainly. But to me, it is all about the schedule, right? The road games, and you hit on a couple of them. But like you said, you play Clemson, but you avoid Miami, Louisville, SMU, and FSU. Your road games are at Colorado, at Wake Forest, at Duke, at NC State, at Boston College. All very, very winnable games there. So, and maybe this is, look, I kind of fell for Georgia Tech last year. I remember going to bed the week before the college football season started and laying outside my son's crib and showing him Haynes King highlight tapes to get him pumped up for the season. Then I remember watching at the lake that week 0 game with Georgia Tech and FSU and Haynes bursting on the scene in those badass white uniforms with the Celtic knots down the middle. I remember the Georgia game where Haynes King's wear and tear was deep, a violent shade of red, head to toe, and he damn near pulled it off. And so, yeah, give me. I'm with you. I've waffled this offseason from being like Georgia Tech to with you like, oh, they're gonna suck. I'm back on Ev's side. I actually believe I'm going Clemson over Georgia Tech.
Haynes King, another guy that Jimbo Fisher is really fucked up for me.
Haynes, Connor Wegman, all your guys, all your former lovers, just out there captaining other teams.
There's 5.
Max Johnson,
guys.
that's right. Max Johnson,
Calzada.
I forgot he was
guys everywhere.
Who does Blutman have?
He has one last chance to this.
You got it.
Let me think about something. Hold on. Brandon, I got Clemson over Duke. It's 11 p.m. on a day where I woke up at 5 a.m. and worked in the sun for a lot of. I know, I was trying. I thought that one started pretty good. You got to find a hook word, Brandon.
That's not the hook word. It's starting to.
The taxi cheer. Okay.
Yeah.
Clemson over Duke. It's 11 p.m. on a day where I woke up at 5 a.m. and worked in the sun for a lot of hours. I won something diffy in my title game, I guess. I'm throwing a dart at the board. Duke it is then, champ. So, yeah, it seems like not a very, not vindictive, convicted pick from Blutt there. But he has Clemson over Duke.
Simply want to be different.
Yeah.
Big Duke guy. I mean, he also just said Stanford just not.
Did we
in the
skip
ACC,
something?
So.
You know what they call that, Kayce?
What?
Big Duke energy. You know?
Big Duke energy. Love it. Okay, no, I don't think we skipped anything. I have everything checked off.
Okay.
So Power 4 conference is done. Next week we will have the mega episode. So one episode will come out on
You guys
Tuesday.
do not bring your Heisman winner on Sunday. Bring your Heisman top 5.
Okay.
Ooh, okay.
Bring your playoff 12.
Okay.
Okay.
Bring your champion.
Okay.
And then I'll think of a couple others.
What about Oh, go ahead.
And
Kayce.
also, because obviously with 12 teams, there will be a little bit of G5. I know normally we've done in the past like a G5 episode, but that'll be built into the mega episode because they will have a playoff team. Anything else, fellas? Before I know Brandon and T-Bob, you're going to camp, aren't you?
No, I gotta stay back from camp to work on some stuff on the home front. I'm gonna have some FOMO, but big things coming, guys. So pay attention.
Big things coming. That is true. Brandon, are you excited for camp?
No.
What a surly motherfucker. Look at this, guys.
I would love to do the blob one time.
Oh God, blobs are so much fun, dude. You know what happened here today?
What?
We have our first team that we're all gonna watch every single weekend and try to shit on the other one about. Miami. Miami will be the team that we constantly try to say a toe-to-so over the entire weekend. Or over the entire season. That makes me very happy. That's great. I
love when organically on this podcast, and it's happened pretty much every year, that there's just a team or a player. Like I remember Jalen Hurts way back when, Brandon, like that became a thing every week. Like Now it's Miami.
I just think the narratives are out of control. I can't believe you trust Cristobal. I can't believe you trust Miami. The motherfuckers were 10-2 last year. They didn't. They were right there.
It's the exception out
They
there.
were 2
And
plays
Carson
away.
Beck is
Even
not
a
a bad quarterback.
Even a broken clock's
2 plays
right
away.
twice a day.
All right.
Indeed, the defense was god fucking awful last year.
What about your
They're not going to be that bad this year.
Theismann winner?
Okay.
See
All
that
right.
video of Nelly Furtado?
Yes.
No.
I did.
I
Old girl's
did.
looking fine,
Is she?
fine.
Did you see thick Jennifer Love Hewitt?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
She's in the Theismann. Saquon Barkley's in the Theismann. Who else would be in the Theismann?
You know who's got a real nice bottom half is Hillary Duff.
Jesus Christ. What are we doing?
Yeah. I like Hillary's age nice. for sure.
Hillary Duff's got the dumpy.
Have you not seen this?
I'm
Ev?
leaving.
I gotta send you something. Oh my god.
I mean, I'm familiar with the Lizzie McGuire days.
Oh, sir.